Hello, Cardinals. We're going to talk about investigation 5.3 today, investigating surface currents. Our focus question today is, how do winds affect ocean waters? We have two different vocab words today. Talcum powder, which is a white powder consisting of the mineral talc, and adapt is to make something suitable for use for a different purpose or modify. So we're going to be using some talcum powder and adapting some things. So before we start investigation 5.3, we want to look back at investigation 5.3, where hopefully you put some salt water into a petri dish and observed what happened after the water had been frozen, after it had been left before. And what you're going to see is the results of that melting of the ice and what's left with the salt. So we're going to want to go back to number 4 in your objectives and write what happens when ice forms and melts in salt water, and then answer that on your objective page. And then we're going to move on to investigation 5.3, which is the objective is to plan and carry out an investigation looking at the effect of wind on surface currents. So there are 3 different things that affect ocean currents. The first is temperature, the second is salinity, and the third is wind. All right. You're going to read Building Your Knowledge, Global Winds, and the Ocean Conveyor Belt. And then you're going to apply that knowledge during your investigation and your observations. You're going to write down a question: how do winds affect ocean waters? And you're going to discuss that with your class. And then you're going to look at procedures 4 through 8. And then your teacher will get your materials and turn you loose so you can start your investigation. Step 4 is to pour water into your petri dish until it's half full. You're going to use the tips of your fingers to place a pinch of talcum powder on the surface of the water. Only use a pinch. If you use more than that, it'll interfere with the results. We're putting a little pinch of talcum powder on top of the surface, so that way you can see the water moving as you create a wind on top. You're going to use a straw, much like you did in a different investigation. I think that was 5.1, to blow gently across the surface. You're going to ask your group members to carefully watch this, and you're going to want to use a new straw each time, so each group member gets to try this. Every person will need a straw, and then you need to write what you observe, and then discuss your observations with your group. You're going to clean up by putting a lid on the talcum powder. Don't throw it away. We're going to pour out the water and then wipe the dish dry. We're not throwing away the beaker of water. The next class is just going to use it. You can throw away your straws, and then we'll put new straws out for next hour. You're going to look at your laminated weather and climate maps, and you're going to do the following. You're going to read the description in Table 1, and then each row describes an ocean surface current caused by global winds. And you use a wet erase. We got blue and red erase markers to draw. Use your red for the warm currents and blue for cold currents. You're going to label them. You're going to label the currents on your map. All right, so we're looking back at the maps that we made at the start of the unit. So here are the list of currents. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and you'll be labeling those on your maps. So investigation 5.3, you have steps 1 through 8. Make sure you're reading global winds and the ocean conveyor belt. You have 2 more vocab words to define how air moves and how water moves. And then we're going to be moving on to the Lesson 5 reflection and those articles when we're done. If you have any questions, please let your teacher know. Thanks, Cardinals.